What's going on, everyone? Hope you're having a fantastic mother effing day. Hope you're feeling healthy. Hope you're feeling wealthy. Hope you're feeling wise. If you're not feeling healthy, wealthy, or wise, there are things that you can do to get healthier, wealthier, and wiser. All right? Hit the books. People out there who have figured it out. Success leaves clues. Today, we're going to be talking about intermittent fasting and how it helps you become wiser and how it helps you become healthier. It can also help you become wealthier as well if you start teaching it to other people, yeah? So figure it out and share it back, pay it forward. So check it out. 4 benefits to intermittent fasting that most people never talk about. These are things that I did not hear anyone talking about before I started. These are things that I had to learn on my own, which is fine. It's cool. I like surprises. It's nice to feel like a bit of a pioneer, even though there's hundreds, maybe even thousands of people out there talking about intermittent fasting. When you only watch like 3 or 4 videos, then you dive in and give it a go yourself, you start to notice a lot of things that you hadn't heard before. Now, I'm sure if I went and searched up these things, I might find them out there, but these are things that I've just discovered, and these are things I now want to teach you and share with you, because I think if you understand the benefits of intermittent fasting, you're going to get on it. Like, all you need is a few testimonials, all you need is a few lists of benefits before you try something, right? Like, if someone just tells you, hey, go do something, go do that, you're like, fuck off, mate. But if you hear testimony of someone saying, hey, this is great, this is great, this is great, and you start seeing people like, whoa, 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 and they all start telling you the same thing, like, yeah, man, the benefits are boom, 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 boom. You'd be kind of dumb not to do it, wouldn't you? Especially if there's no downsides. So check it out. These are the 4 benefits. First benefit, digestion. Like, you're not spending most of the day digesting. You're only spending, depending on your window. Yeah, if you don't know what intermittent fasting is, by the way, it's when you eat in a short window. I like a 4-hour window. I eat between 12 and 4, which means for 20 hours. If I'm eating between 12 noon and 4 p.m., that means for 20 hours, I'm not eating. Meaning my digestion can go do its thing, chill, rest, recover, regenerate, renew. So when it comes time to eat again, boom, body's ready to take in those nutrients. It's not run down. It's not like a car that's just been going. This car is like, it's fresh, it's rested, it's fueled up, it's polished, it's well oiled, it's all good to go. It's new again. It's like you just got a tune up. So by doing a 20-hour water fast every single day, you're tuned up every day. It's like taking your car in for a tune-up on the regular, but before it's even expected. You know, some cars say, oh, come for a tune-up every 5,000 or 10,000 kilometers, whatever, 10,000 miles. You don't need to wait that long, man. You can tune yourself up every day just by fasting every day for 20 hours. So that's the first thing. Digestion is just really, really good. Now, the way I eat anyway, eating a fruit-based diet, digestion's already really, really good. But by resting the digestive tract, by resting the digestive system, it's even better, all right? So the next benefit kind of goes hand in hand with that. And that is, because you're not eating all day long, like I used to graze, I think grazing can be great for some people, but most people can get a lot more benefit if they do intermittent fasting. The benefit from the downside of grazing is that you're eating all day long, so that by the end of the day, you have this big freaking stomach. It's like people call it bloating. It's not really bloating, it's just you got a Buddha belly from eating fruit all day. And then you wake up and still might have a bit of a Buddha belly there. Whereas with intermittent fasting, you just have a flat stomach more of the time, especially because you got to eat denser calories to fit it in during that window. So you don't have this big distended belly. You don't have to go to bed like Buddha anymore. You don't have to wake up like Buddha anymore. You can, for the first time in my raw vegan career, I started waking up with a flat stomach. I started going to bed with a flat stomach. It's really, really cool. I used to always look down and see a little bit of a bump. I have to suck it in a bit. But with intermittent fasting, it's always flat. It's really, really nice. So if you want a flat stomach, intermittent fasting is the way to go. The third benefit is, again, something I've never heard anyone talk about, and that is the teeth. Like, when you're grazing all day long, sugar's constantly hitting your teeth. So the only way to prevent calories is to be brushing 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times a day to keep your teeth clean. At least be rinsing with water multiple times throughout the day, flossing multiple times throughout the day, and making sure your teeth don't have any food residue on there. Because if you're constantly hitting your teeth with sugar, they're going to develop cavities. That's just how it works. If you leave food in your teeth, cavities develop. No food on your teeth, no cavities. That simple. So intermittent fasting is like, okay, teeth are clean for 20 hours of the day, and then for 4 hours, you eat. And in that 4-hour period, halfway through, you can floss, you can brush if you want, which I sometimes do. I'll have my first meal at like noon, and I'll be done before 1 o'clock, and then I brush my teeth, I rinse, I go for a walk or something, go and do some errands, come back, have my last meal of the day at like 3 o'clock, and then finish by 4, and then I brush and floss again and I'm done. So teeth is just so much easier to keep your teeth clean. It's so much easier to prevent cavities. So that's like a major bonus right there. If you're having troubles with cavities or teeth issues and you don't want any more cavities in your future, intermittent fasting has to be the go-to, all right? The last benefit that I didn't hear anyone talking about is this mental clarity, this newfound mental clarity, which again, you get mental clarity from eating a raw vegan fruitarian diet anyway, but it's a different type of mental clarity with intermittent fasting, because when you're grazing all day, you're constantly thinking, should I eat? Should I eat? You're making this decision like 20 times throughout the day. Should I eat? Should I eat? Should I eat? Intermittent fasting, there's no decision to be made. Like, you've already made the decision ahead of time. It's part of your lifestyle. It's like, I don't decide to eat at noon. It's like noon comes, it's the rule, I eat. If I'm not around at noon, I'm out driving, I'm out doing something, I'm out at a photo shoot or at a concert or something, then I don't eat until it's time to eat, sure. But I'm not deciding should I eat or not. It's like I either eat at noon or I don't. I eat when it's time to eat, but I'm not eating at 11, not eating at 10, not eating at 9, unless I know I'm going out the rest of the day or something, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll get my 4-hour eating window in here. So it's rare. Most times it's between 12 and 4. The decision is made for me. I don't need to waste a decision on should I eat or not, all right? And then the cool thing is, once I eat, I'm done eating. Like, it's done. After 4 p.m., it's not like, should I eat anymore? It's like, I'm done. I'm good. I'm just going to let the body digest. I'm full. I've had my calories. Now, the fifth benefit to intermittent fasting, the bonus benefit, is the one that got me into it. This is pretty much the only benefit that I did know of, and that is when you do intermittent fasting, a really cool thing happens, because insulin gets released when you eat. So you eat some food, boom, insulin goes up. When insulin's up, guess what cannot get released? Human growth hormone. What's human growth hormone responsible for? Muscle growth, man. Muscle growth, that's how you put on muscle. You gotta release human growth hormone. I only started to put on muscle when I started intermittent fasting. That's it. Like, I've been into strength training now for a couple of years, semi-consistently. The past 6 months, I've been pretty damn consistent with it. And I've also been really consistent with my intermittent fasting. So, like, that's when the muscle started coming on, when the intermittent fasting kicked into gear. Because again, human growth hormone, which is responsible for putting on size, putting on mass, growing your muscles, that only gets released when insulin is at baseline, not when it's up. And it's always up if you're always eating. So if you want to lower your insulin and you want to release human growth hormone, which I'm sure you do if you want to look great, then you got to do intermittent fasting. It's the only way. It's the only way. You can fit in all your calories in a 4-hour window. Don't worry about that. It's not hard. Just eat. When it's time to eat, eat. And then when you stop eating, it takes about 6 hours for your insulin to go back down to baseline. Once it's down to baseline, boom, human growth hormone starts getting released. And it's not just it gets released and it stays a steady release. It grows and grows and grows. So as soon as human growth hormone starts getting released, it gets released more and more and more over an 18 to 20 hour period. So that by the 18-hour to 20-hour mark, your human growth hormone is at a max peak level. Like, it's produced as much as it can possibly produce in that cycle. So then it's time to eat again. So it's like when you do a 20-hour eating, or when you do a 20-hour fast every day, you're maxing out your human growth hormone production cycle. It's really, really dope. This is really, really cool stuff to look into. If you're wondering why so many raw vegans are skinny and scrawny, it's because they're eating all the time and the insulin's constantly spiked. How are you supposed to grow muscle if your insulin's up? You cannot. You cannot. In Thailand, they say that a lot. In Thailand, they have a common phrase. It's like, my D, it means cannot. If you ask customer support, you're like, hey, can you call a taxi for me? They're like, cannot. It's like some cultural thing in Thailand where they just say cannot a lot. So my buddy and I got a joke. Every time I ask him to do something here, he's like, cannot. Anyways, yeah, if you're wondering how to release human growth hormone while at the same time having insulin up, cannot. You've gotta let the insulin come back down to baseline. And the only way to do that is to not freaking eat, man, all right? If you're thinking, oh, but Ted, I shouldn't have all the sugar, right? I should eat high fat to keep my insulin down. No, you don't need to do that. Like I said, you already maxed out your human growth hormone cycle around the 18 to 20 hour mark. Go ahead, eat the fruit, eat the carbs. Don't restrict your carbohydrates. The body runs on glucose, man. Don't be afraid of that, all right? Focus on the fruit, focus on the carbs, and get them in you in that 12 to 4 hour window, all right? After that, you're free, man. You don't need to eat anymore. You've got enough, all right? Focus on the fruit, focus on the fruit, focus on the fruit. That's where you're gonna get your carbohydrates from. I tell people I eat a fruit diet, and they're like, so no carbs? I'm like, dude, carbs, what do you think fruit is? Is it protein? Is it fat? maybe avocados. No, it's carbs. Fruit is carbs. Bananas, dates, melons, peaches, plums, nectarines, raisins, apricots. Whatever you gotta do, man, get it in, all right? If you want some fat, go ahead, have some fat. My favorite fats would include things like avocados and hemp seeds and mac nuts and durian. I love durian. It's hard to consider durian a fat because it's about only 30% fat, but durian's a great source of calories. It's one of my favorite. So yeah, focus on the fruit and focus on the intermittent fasting. Get that insulin down to baseline, all right? And that's how you're gonna put on size, that's how you're gonna grow muscle. Okay, those are just a few of the benefits, and I'm just one testimonial, but there's thousands of other people out there on YouTube cranking it, killing it, using intermittent fasting to their advantage. So this is just the start. Like I said, I'm only about 6 months into training consistently. Give me another 2 or 3 years here, and we'll see what we can do on this healthy vegan diet. Peace out. Ciao. Much love.